Turn my headphones up. Louder.
Ooh, yeah, we got a special guest in the building. Episode 20. What? I wasn't even listening. 27. Mr. Andre Johnson. Took me an arm and a leg to get him over here and to get that jersey. But we got the jersey signed and we got Dre in the household. So, Dre, this is how it works. This is my podcast. I'm the GOAT in this debate. I'm Shannon Sharp in this debate. You're Stephen A. Smith. Not Skip Bayless. You're whoever. Anyways, we got our guy Dwight Manfredi here. We got our sponsors, non-sponsors, Congo Sups, which you tried. I think he likes it. Ironically, we got a funny story before we take this shot at tequila. So, when I first moved here, which is going to get under relationship, how I met Dre, we went to go play a game of golf. I was talking my shit, acting like I knew what I was doing. And this guy brings up, all right, if you don't, what was it? The putt or the drive or the game? What were we betting on?
We were betting on the game.
We were betting on the game. It's like, all right, if you don't win this game, you're gonna owe me a shot of Louis 13. Me, I'm a 23-year-old kid from literally just raw out here. Like, I don't know anybody. I'm super young. I'm full of my own. I was like, all right, bet, whatever. Just talking shit. And then I obviously got my ass kicked. He got in my head, and I was not playing any good golf. And then I go to my buddy. I was like, man, what's this Louis 13 he's talking about? He said, bro, you don't know what that is? It's like a $300 shot. $300 shot, right?
Not 300, but somewhere around that.
This is at a time when I didn't have anything in my bank account, too, and here I am golfing with a Hall of Famer about to be and the guy for the Texans, and I owe him a shot of Louis 13. So anyways, with that being said, we ain't got Louis 13 here, and I don't get a drink like that or be out, because I'm always asleep by the time Dre's like, if he wants to do something. So this is our little toast to the Daily Dose. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Appreciate it.
Dre gets to take a shot and drink with me. An honor, a privilege, a Hall of Famer, should have been Super Bowl champ if he had a quarterback, a great human, a great guy, a loyal supporter of Congo. Dre, is this going to be one of six? Yeah.
One of six what?
Shots. I'm going to get Dre fucked up today. I'm just kidding. What Pantalones for waiting on the tequila. What the heck? All right. So, we're going to actually start on kind of how I came about to meet Dre and then where our relationship came from. Obviously, you guys got the story about the golfing. We haven't ran that back yet. We will run that back soon. I got a new partner. DJ Augustine, you can be my partner. Arian, we can run it back. So, yeah, Dre, I came here in 2013. 2013, where were you at in the stage of your career in the sense of mentally where your body was at, the team you were on, and what was going on at the time? Because at that time, I think you were kind of was it that year or the next year you were holding out in the sense of some contract stuff? Or?
No, I was actually holding out that year. It wasn't necessarily about contract stuff. It was more because that's when Bill O'Brien came.
Okay.
So I went through a thing where I was just like, if I'm not going to be a part of the team's future, like, let me go somewhere else and play. I had already been here for 12 years, so it was going into my 13th year. And they was just kind of like, hey, we want you to be a part of the team's future, this, that, and the other. And when new coaches come in, I know how this business goes.
Yeah.
It's a cutthroat business. So I felt like I wasn't going to be a part of the team's future, even though I had been here so long. And they basically lied to my face and told me that I was going to be a part of the team's future. And as soon as the season was over, they released me. So,
damn.
That was a tough thing to swallow because I had been here 12 years, and that was tough.
What draft pick were you?
Third
round draft pick, and at that time, he was.
I was a first round draft pick.
Oh my bad, first. See, it just shows you I'm not the football guy. He made it very clear.
That was the third pick.
First round draft pick, third pick. Were you expecting to go with the Texans?
To be honest, I thought I was going to go to the Jets.
The Jets.
Yeah, the Jets had the fourth pick.
Uh-huh.
And I so like from my visit, like when I went on my visits, I visited the Jets, the Texans. Those are the only two teams I visited. And my visit here was cool. But I spoke to the Texans more than I spoke to any team. And I didn't know, like, because you never know what's going to happen. Like so I didn't go to the draft. I was actually back home. I had just did something at a hotel so my family and friends can be there. Everybody can enjoy the moment. And I remember, like, I had a headpiece on, like, a little earpiece where I can hear, like, the ESPN stuff.
This is 2003, right?
Yes.
Okay, 2003. There's no...
Yeah. So I had, like, a little earpiece on. And I remember, so when I at the Combine, I met with the Redskins.
Okay.
And Steve Spurrier was the coach at the time. And he was like, you got away from me in high school, but I ain't going to let you get away from me in the NFL. So, and I'm sitting on the thing, and they was like, oh, shit. Like, so Washington had the 4th pick.
Okay.
But they traded with the Jets. So they was like, the Jets traded up to the 4th pick, and I can hear it on the headset before it was actually announced on TV. And so I was just like, well, damn, I'm going to probably be going to the Jets. Mm-hmm. So I originally thought I was going to go to Washington because of what Steve Spurrier told me. So, but when the trade happened, I thought I was going to end up going to the Jets.
Who were the 2 picks that were in front of you at that year? Who was in that?
Carson Palmer was the number 1 overall pick.
Okay.
God rest his soul, Charles Rogers was the 2nd pick, and then I was 3rd.
Nice. What was that like getting that phone call? Because we all see that there's an image, Aaron, of him. I think you're on your flip phone. You had a T-Mac jersey on, right? Yeah. And then you getting that call. What was that feeling like being with your family and finally like making it?
It's crazy because like, so when the Texans got on the clock, so they called me and it was like, hey, we're on the clock. You know, there's a possibility that we can take you. And they just hang up the phone. So you just basically waiting. Mm-hmm. And so it was known for Miami guys not to participate in off-season workouts at the time. So they called me back and it was like, it was the receiver coach, Kippy Brown. He calls me. And so the phone rings. I'm thinking like it's the phone call for the pick. So he calls me. He's like, are you going to bring your ass to off-season workouts? And I was like, yeah, like, you know, but it was a known thing for Miami guys, not because we were training back home in Miami. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm coming to off-season workouts or whatever. And he was like, all right. And he hung up the phone. And then I got a phone call again. And when they called, it was the head coach. It was Dom Capers. And he was like, hey, man, we're going to take you, you know, with this pick. So that was probably it. As a kid, you know, like growing up, you just like, damn, man, like I want to play in the NFL because it was always my dream. Like I grew up right around, well, it's Hard Rock now. It was Joe Robbie when I was growing up. I could literally stand in my front yard. They've done so many renovations to the stadium, but I could literally stand in my grandmother's front yard and see the Jumbotron at the time of, you know, the Dolphin Stadium. And I used to literally like stand in the front yard and I'd just be like, man, I'm going to play in that stadium one day. I used to always say that as a kid because I was a huge Dolphin fan growing up. Yeah, so, man, it's crazy how like things come full circle. So my first professional game was in that stadium. Oh, that's where I played my first professional game at. So that was, it was crazy, man. It was a hell of a feeling.
Why the T-Mac jersey? Did you ever have a plan, or it just came out naturally?
Nah, you know what? It was never a plan. Like, I was a huge T-Mac fan, first of all.
He ain't in the GOAT debate. We'll get to that.
But, I don't know, man. Like, back then that was basketball jerseys and shit was in, So I don't know, bro. Like I just was like, I'm gonna wear this tomorrow, and it just so happened to be a T-Mac jersey, and we laugh about it now when I see him. We talk about it. So, but that was good friend, great person, man. But it's crazy though that I did have his jersey on actually when I got drafted. That's some funny shit. We laugh about it all the time.
Yeah, we'll get the picture. It's a pretty epic scene. It's like true joy. Like he's happy, and his mom is a very big proponent in his life. We're gonna get to that too. But just like knowing him now, and like years have passed. We're in 2025. Flip phone, long jean shorts, ankle socks, big chain. Spice didn't have a headband on. He was just smiling on the flip phone going to the Houston Texans. It was a cool moment. And that, as you brought up Miami, you're talking about off-season workouts. So for those of you who don't know, he can educate me too, apparently.
Don't say nothing stupid, because I know you're going to say something crazy. So go ahead.
He went to the University of Miami. Oh, yeah, right? Is it this one, or is that the U?
Nah, you right.
Okay.
You got it right.
University of Miami. And so actually, let's get a little... Did you know, like growing up, you talked about the vision of I'm going to play in that stadium one day, and I had conversations with you about, that quote I have on that jersey of yours talking about, like, it doesn't matter if you're tired or whatever's going on in your life, where you wanted to get to in life was way more important because you didn't come from a good place, right?
Right.
So what I'd like to get involved in, I know we're kind of going back in time. What was that process for you like being in Miami? Were you in Dade County?
Dade
Is that where you're
County,
at? Basically, the culture of Miami and Miami sports and just Miami in general in that era of time, you coming up that ladder of, am I going to get out of this place? And then the irony of you getting to play with the University of Miami and the debate of if that was or is
Ain't no debate.
the best college football
The best college
team
football
assembled.
team ever in history.
There was a guy named Tim Tebow out there, but
I don't care.
We'll
I
get
don't
it.
care about that. We'll get into that. Yeah. So
yeah, what was it like? Going through that and growing up, and then obviously the relationship you have with your mother, and how important you guys are with each other.
So growing up, the crazy thing was like the University of Miami at the time of me, like growing up as a kid, they were actually bigger than the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
So like they were, it was just like a consistency of just winning. So you had Jimmy Johnson, there at the time. He was the head coach, and man, I could remember like just as a kid, like watching those games and watching Sapp and Ray Lewis and Lamar Thomas, Michael Irvin, Ray. It was so many guys. Cortez Kennedy. Mm-hmm. It was so many guys that Ed Brown. Like just watching those guys play, and as a kid, you're watching that and you're like, man, I want to be a part of that. Like, cause they had we always tell people like Miami brought swagger to college football. Mm-hmm. So I remember watching that as a kid, and I used to be like, man, like before I even thought about the Dolphins, it was University of Miami. So that was something I always watched as a kid, and I was used to be like, man, I want to play, like I want to be a part of that, like I want to experience that. And I remember, going through high school and things of that nature. Like my mom sent me out of district to go to high school because I was a lot of the guys I hung around at the time. Actually, my close friend, I talked about this on the Pivot podcast. He went somewhere with a friend, somebody he thought was his friend, and they ended up. They were supposed to go get something to eat. The guy he went with ended up robbing the place, and when they were robbing the place, the gun went off and killed the girl at the cash register. So that was like the whole thing. My mom was like, I don't want you hanging around no more. this, that, and the other. She was like, I'm sending you out of district to go to school. And I always tell people like it was probably like one of the best things ever happened, like for her to send me out of district to go to school, because it made me create new friends. Like I had, you know me, I'm very, very quiet. So I had to like get out of my comfort zone to create new friends and things of that nature. So, man, like once I started, you know, just playing ball in high school and stuff like that, and then being recruited by the University of Miami, man, it was a hell of a feeling. Like I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, USC came very strong. They did. I will say that. They came very strong. But you know, at the end of the day, it was always my dream to play at the University of Miami. So yeah.
We call that we had a dub segment. Jake Paul. We'll get in that debate too. Big dub. So University of Miami.
Yeah.
Is that when you were like, okay, I can make it out of Miami and get to the NFL? And what was that whole? Because I know we talked about before I met you, your strength and conditioning side. What was process if you transitioned from high school, getting to the University of Miami, and how it became one of the most prominent teams in college football history, and you were able to be a part of that?
So going from high school to college, I'm not gonna lie, man. When I got to college, and so I had to sit behind two guys, and I always call these guys like my big brothers. It was Santana Moss and Reggie Wayne.
It's another dub right there. He's got to be behind those two guys. Google them, look them up. Okay.
Yeah, so I had to sit behind these two guys, and they really showed me like what it was about work ethic. Cause they didn't really have to talk to you if you just watched them work. It was just like, damn, like it made me feel like I got to get my shit together, you know. So, and I remember me and Santana were roommates, you know, when we would travel and stuff, when we stay in the hotel. And he used to always tell me, he used to be like, when we leave, you got to be the guy to take over. He used to always tell me that. And I used to be looking at him like, bro, like, what are you talking about? Like, but I didn't get it then at the time, but I understood it, you know, as time went along. And because we had guys that were older than me that were still on the team, but he was like, nah, Dre, you the dude. Like, you got to be the guy that take this shit over when we leave. So, did that
give you confidence, or were you aware of what he was trying to tell you at all? Like,
I remember when he first told me. I wouldn't say I was aware of it when he first told me, but as time went, and you know, we traveled, and you know, as the season went along, I understood it. Then, you know, I didn't understand it when he first told me, because I'm just like, man, we got somebody who's finna be a senior next year, but he like, nah, fuck that, like, it's you, like, you gotta be the one.
And you're a freshman at the time?
I was actually freshman, yeah.
Redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
And correct me, with Santana and those guys, was the U culture developed already? Like, had they won championships, or was that your era?
So so Santana came in as in the year of the like when they was on probation.
Okay.
So he was like, him and Reggie were the guys who helped build it back up to when, and I hate, I swear I hate this shit. Like, I hate it because the year they left, we won the national championship the next year.
It's the only ring he won. Well, he got a Hall of Fame ring. I had to throw that in there.
But I hate that because those guys did everything they had to do to help get it back to where it was.
Yeah.
And the year they left, we won the national championship. We should have played for the national championship day senior year, which the whole BCS thing, you know, back then, you know, that was a bunch of BS. But they let Oklahoma and Florida State play, which we beat Florida State. We both had one loss. And they let Florida State go to the national championship, and they ended up losing to Oklahoma that year. So
yeah, it's the ring he won. Never won a Super Bowl ring. But what was that? So I mentioned another podcast. You brought up work ethic and you mentioned Santana and stuff. So it's good to finally hear like that inside of the story. What was it about? Was it Miami or was it just in you that installed that work ethic? Because that's a lot to put on your shoulders to hear from a guy like, you're that guy. Like, you're going to be that guy. And I want to know some of the stories of just like the conditioning stuff of what it was like at the U and the culture. Because I spoke with Slay last time about like how this generation, like the work ethic isn't the same. Yeah. And you told me before that it's gotten to a point to where Dose, you want it more than the athlete. Right. Take me back in time. And what was it like in that moment at the U of work ethic, swagger, camaraderie, and then we can get to the Houston Texans and stuff, because I think that's people what we need to hear about. Because before he goes on, Dre, he doesn't speak a lot, but he is generally one of the hardest working guys I know, and I have these people that are on the top tier, like the Kobe's, the LeBrons, the Tom Brady's. The way this guy has operated for his career as far as recovery and training, I'm going to give your flowers. You're on that level for me, and it's brought me a blessing and a curse because I was able to train somebody that I was able to push. Because when I met Dre, I didn't know him. I had to ask Taj, like, who were these guys? And when I found out who he was, I knew the potential I had, but I knew how jacked up his hips were and some of the things where I'm like, man, this guy's a Hall of Famer style player and I can still help him. But yeah, I had to give him his flowers. He works extremely hard. He's always the last guy out the locker room and the game days. He's doing the icing. He's watching what he's eating. So yeah, what was it like, that culture, and where did that work ethic generally come from?
Man, I tell people all the time, like, being at the University of Miami, man, those were like the best days of my life. Like, I never had been around so many guys that was so competitive about everything. Yeah. Like, it was crazy, man. Like, we could be shooting marbles. Like, it was competitive. It was a lot of shit talking, but it brought the best out of you. Another thing I would say, like, it was never a person, like, if you wasn't doing shit right, we didn't have to rely on the coaches. You'll get called out by players, and they'll tell you, like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or, you need to do this or you need to do that. And it created a bond that you'll never ever experience it again. So those guys I played with, man, like our summer workouts, running them 110s, running 200s, like,
this is Miami Heat. Yes. This is Miami Heat in the summertime, by the way, people.
So we pushed each other, man, to like either you was gonna do it or you was gonna get your ass beat. And it was period, like, point blank. Like, you didn't have to rely on the coaches. The players handled everything. But it pushed you to become, like, we all wanted to see each other become better. And that was it was a hell of a thing, man, to experience. And I tell people, like, words can't really describe it. You had to be there to see it. And I don't think it was just something that was put on just those years when I was there. I think it's the Miami tradition. Like, you have so many older guys, Michael Irvin and all those guys would come back, and, like, we would do 7-on-7, and it might be 8 NFL guys out there doing 7-on-7 with us. They'll just come jump in, do 1-on-1s, like, and that was the type of thing. So it pushed you to want to, like, shit, they come back and hang out with us, like, shit, I want to, get what he got. You know what I'm saying? Like, not in a envious way, but it's just like, shit, like, he come back and, show us what we need to do, and they out there helping you and teaching you. So it was like, man, we would do 7-on-7 on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and it's no telling how many guys that were in the NFL that would come back and just be out there doing stuff with us. So, man, those were some hell of a times, man, and it helped create my work ethic and the things that I was able to, just put into the game.
Yeah, a couple things for all the people that are listening that are on the strength and conditioning side and that realm. Could you give me an example of a day you remember? I think we talked about the 110s. I think you did 110s or sled pulls, and then you went in the weight room and you did a whole workout and Nordics. Can you give just if you remember off the top of your head one of the days that was one of the harder days from your strength coach?
Man, I'll never forget. Shout out Coach Swayze, man. He's just actually got the strength. He was a strength coach when I was at Miami, but he's at Colorado now.
Okay.
He just got the job there, man.
Nice.
With Dion, Coach Prime and stuff. So he reached out to me and let me know he was going to be going there. So super excited for him with that. But Swayze was our strength and conditioning coach. And, man, one year he implemented this shit called the Big Circuit.
Okay.
Bro, it was an hour of straight running. Like, just running. So we would run 200s and 110s. So we were running 110s and then jogging back. So your rest was to jog back.
Uh-huh.
But most people wouldn't think that's rest, like you sprinting 110, jogging back, sprinting 110, jogging. So we would run like 3 or 4 110s and then run a 200 like right after. Man, that was the worst shit I think I've ever done like in my life as far as like working out. And I remember because the funny thing is he used to do the workouts.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
Yeah, so he used to do the workouts. And I remember he told us, he said, when you do this shit, your ass gonna fall off. And we was like, you thinking like you in shape, because we done seen like everything he possibly could have done to us, but he implemented his Big Circuit, bro. It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, it got to a point to where we didn't even, whenever we would do it, I wouldn't even run in cleats. I would put on, like some trainers and just run because it was so much running. It was an hour just straight running. And that was, I would say that was probably the worst thing as far as like training that I probably ever experienced.
That's where I got lucky because he went through that, and then when he met me, it was some crazy shit we also did, but he embraced it. It's funny you talked about the competitives, like Michael Irvin and those guys came in and do 7-on-7s, and then just like, oh, he's working that hard, I'm going to be pushing that hard. I feel like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, in today's generation, especially the younger guys and some of the older guys now, it's like they don't want to compete against each other. It's like they're too friendly or they're too, oh, that's just too crazy. I ain't doing that.
Right.
Do you think that does exist, and what do you think can change that?
I don't think it, to be honest, I don't think it'll ever change. Like, I could be your friend. I know for me when I was playing, like, we could be cool outside of the field, but when I was in the game, like, I might talk to you or whatever, like, but first round, I'm trying to win. Like, I don't, that friendship can last once we get off the football field. I think nowadays, like, guys are too friendly, and they look more into the friendship more than the team. So, like, I think now everybody is trying to create a brand for themselves. With the social media thing, everybody's now is, it's about them. It's not about the team no more. Everybody wants to, they want to be the guy. It could be the last guy on the roster. He probably got 1 million pictures on social media because he wants to be that guy. Everybody wants to be the guy, and I think that's the bad part with sports right now. At the end of the day, I love the game, but I can't say it's the same because I think you'll see certain times where things, like, to me, the regular season is the regular season. Things pick up, because in the playoffs, because things matter then. But I think now guys are too They could be a little bit too friendly.
And soft, right?
Yeah.
I can't.
They complain about it.
Yeah, I can't push people, Dre.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just too hard. Oh, that's too much. I'm sitting there, what?
Yeah. So I tell people this too. Like when I came in the league, I got to experience both sides of it. So when I came in the league, we was still doing 2-a-days and all that, and then I got the experience like when some of the rules and stuff got changed.
Okay.
I always say now, if I was to come in the league now, I probably play 20 years.
Why do you
They
say
don't
that?
practice.
Okay.
They don't do 2-a-days. Like, it's the easiest shit. Like, everything is so... I mean, I get it. The athletes... I do think the athletes are bigger, faster, stronger now than, you know, when I first came in. But I just feel like it's so soft now. Like, there's so many things that... And which I get, like, it takes time for your body to recover and things of that nature. But I just feel like the game is kind of gotten... Like, when I came in the league, you go across the middle, man, you get your head knocked off. Now...
Pull that highlight up for that. We got some...
Now, it's legal hits to the head, this, that, the other. So, I get it. I understand. They want to make the game safer. So, it's part of it.
You brought that up. What about the... are you a proponent of the NIL stuff? What's your vision? I think you're obviously happy that the guys are getting paid.
Yeah,
It's a good thing. But I've seen some issues with it, at least from what I'm looking at. For example, man, if you're Andre Johnson at the University of Miami in that era, how much money are you making?
I don't think they had enough money.
You know what? That's a dub. And because Dre's here, we're going to take another shot of tequila over that. Told you, there's 2-6. There's number 2.
You know what's funny, man? Me and my mom even talk about that. My mom was like, if they had NILs when you guys was in school, she was like, I don't think they have enough money to pay you guys. So, yeah, it was too many guys, and I don't think there would have been enough money to pay everybody. But I love that these guys are getting money now.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really, because they generate so much money for the school.
I get
so I'm definitely excited that they are getting money. My one thing I would say, even though they're getting money at a young age, I just hope they don't lose focus of what the main goal is. And
What's the main goal?
if it's getting to the NFL, whatever it is, I don't know what everybody's goal is. I know my goal was to make it to the NFL. Because, man, it's a hell of a thing, man. You making more money than your damn college football coach. Like, that's crazy, you know. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, like I said, as long as they keep the main thing, man, it'll be all right. But I'm happy to see them making that money.
You mentioned Dion, and I feel like he's kind of the evolution of coaching. This is me assuming in what I feel like. I feel like the only way this NIL stuff can work is with coaches like that. Because I feel like he's a leader of men, man of faith. He's played the game, swagger style, work ethic. He's one of those guys in your guys' category as far as work ethic, which is, I feel like he's pushing those guys at Colorado. Do you think the evolution of coaching will transition to more like him because of the NIL deals and be able to educate these kids on how to be a businessman and work hard and go where you need to be? Or what is like the flaw in the NIL? Because I feel like if it's not a guy like Dion educating, these kids can just get their bag. They got $1 million or whatever the case may be. It's, I'll just go to the next team. I'll just go to the next team. And then they don't understand how long that lasts you, and then you're broke.
I'll say this, man. And I truly believe that a lot of people don't like Dion.
Okay.
And the reason I say this is because he's giving young, I ain't gonna say young black men, but majority is black men, but he's giving young men the game. Like, he's giving it to you. Like,
Yeah.
you could just follow him on social media and he's giving you the game. And I think that a lot of people, they don't like it because he's doing things that a lot of other coaches are not doing. I remember seeing something on his, because I watch his social media. Like, I
Great stuff.
great, yeah, it's amazing stuff. And like, I remember him, he was doing like interviews with some of his players, and he was correcting them and telling them, like, stop saying stop, say this or change that, and like, nobody else is doing that. And he's giving young men the game of, like, he's not only preparing them for football, he's preparing them for life in general. Like, even doing a thing like where I don't know if you saw this, like, the guys on his team that had kids, he started bank accounts for those kids.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, for his players' kids. I think it was like $1,000 a piece but who's doing that?
Yeah.
Name another coach that's doing that. So you're doing something to help young men to become better men in life. And I think a lot of people don't, which I don't understand why you would hate that, but he gets a lot of flack behind it, and man, I love to see, like, what he's doing, and I can't lie, like, I look forward to just seeing, like, the things he posts and things of that nature, and I remember, like, he's so cool and laid back. Like, I remember when I was, interviewing for the TSU job, like, I texted him and I was like, hey, coach, I need to talk to you about something. And man, he hit me right back and he was like, man, whatever you need, I'm here for you. And he was like, I can give you some resources, this is that and the other. And it was super cool, man. He's so for him to be who he is and the man that he is, I have nothing but the utmost respect for him, man. Like, what he's doing, and I really want to see him, win. Like, I want to see Colorado win, even though, not just it's more of just the respect I have for him as a man. Like, the stuff he's doing to help young men become better men in life, it's amazing, man. Like, we don't have people like that.
No, and he's not doing it for show. He's not doing it for the cameras.
Right.
That's why I love, because obviously there's the Prime Video stuff to watch and we get the inside look.
Right.
I love him because he's the same mentality of, like, you as far as competition and culture, and who he's brought around. Like, Warren Sapp is there now. Forgot who is a couple of the guys, and he said you brought your strength coach there. So, like, I don't even know your strength coach. I just know what he's done for you and what he's done, and the fact that he's going to be in that environment. I feel like he's elevated himself every year, and the thing I take the most from it is he has so many people talk shit about him as a man, as a coach, as a person, and let alone his kids, all on on the same platform. So people get, to me, like LeBron, for example. Oh, you just love this guy because this, and this. I actually love Dion and LeBron and these guys because of the amount of hate they get, and to be able to just take the high road and elevate it.
The funny thing is, and you done heard me say this before, people hate greatness.
Facts.
They hate it. Nobody, they'll praise you a little bit, but if you look at anybody that is great, LeBron, Mike, Kobe, Prime, you look at it, just those guys alone, you know how much hate those guys have probably got. Even LeBron, like, I tell people all the time, like, about LeBron. LeBron didn't ask y'all to crown him. Mm-hmm. When he was 18 years old, y'all crowned him. He was 18, and y'all crowned him. So Now because he's did what he's did, nobody's done what he's did for 20 years consistently. And he's getting better as he gets older. So you gonna hate the man? Oh, I don't like him. Why? You can't even tell me why you don't like him. But you don't like him. So it's people hate greatness. And I love like Tom Brady, like those guys, like that's a whole nother class of athletes that I love it, man. I love to see that shit, and I'm never gonna stop loving it.
Yeah.
Like it's for me, it's great. Like even like to hear Steph say he want to keep playing past 40. I love that shit. Like man, keep going. Like cause they will not appreciate it until it's gone.
Yeah, man.
They like the people who hate LeBron, they'll realize once he stop playing, they'll realize what he's done for the game. Steph Curry, same way. They realize what he's done for the game once he's no longer on the court. Because I feel like once they are gone, the game ain't going to be worth shit. Nobody can watch basketball no more.
No, I'm done. I was done. I thought I was done after this team. And then Shaq got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I met LeBron, and I've been on LeBron kick. But after that, I know I'm done. He talked about people hate greatness. Shout out to Coach Prime, because he actually helped Roby. That was pretty cool. I found that out, and then even Slay. But even his foot thing, he was losing his damn toe, and you're the head coach, and you're putting in this work to get back to coach your team. Like that's a leader. Yeah. And I love that shit because he talked about people hate greatness. It's the work ethic that I love that these guys don't get credit for. And guys like Prime, guys like you, it doesn't exist anymore. He talked about pressure, and that's what I was going to ask you about next. Those guys that he mentioned, the LeBrons, the Mikes, the Kobes, the Tom Bradys, the Deons, you, yourself too, Dre, you're in that category. I don't think pressure is a thing to you guys.
It ain't no such thing as pressure.
Yeah, like what are we...
So I always tell people, and I've shared this with people that's been around. I've told you this. Pressure is trying to take care of your mama bills. That's pressure. Figuring out how I'm gonna get the next meal. That's pressure. Playing a damn game. It's a game. Mm-hmm. It's a kid's game at that. So what's pressure about that? Like, so you gonna tell me it's 4th and 1, and we need a play to be made, and you gonna tell me that's pressure? How?
To some.
But how?
I hear you.
How is that pressure? You need 1 yard. You mean to tell me I can't get 1 yard? But if you need some bills to be paid, you don't know how you're going to get that next dollar. That's pressure. Because, first of all, I ain't going out to commit no crime to try to get that dollar. I'm not going to go do anything illegal to try to get that dollar. If you don't have it coming in the right way, that's pressure. Because you got to figure it out, right? You mean to tell me I got to sit here, bounce a ball, and shoot a free throw? Your hands get wet. Ball gets slippery. I've seen it, but to me, nah, it ain't no pressure. Like it's a game. Like I've always been the guy. If the game on the line, fuck everybody else. Throw me the ball.
That's Kubiak. Kubiak drove a lot of those, right?
Yeah, just that was just me. That was my mentality, and I've always had that mentality since high school. Like I'll never forget. One of my high school coaches was the funny thing is the Texans reached out to one of my high school coaches, and they was like, they go to your elementary school, they do all this research to find out, about you. And my coach told him, he said, one thing I could tell you about him, if the game on the line, he gonna tell you throw him the ball. And that's just always been my mentality. Like, don't put it in nobody else's hands. Put it in my hands. I'll get it done.
Well, the problem is we just got to get you the quarterback to get you the ball.
But that's always been my mentality, and I think like some people don't realize, man. Like it's a game. It's a game, and I think if you talk to Mike, Kobe, or they probably feel the same, or Dion, they feel the same way. It's a game. Like at the end of the day, we're great at what we did, but still at the end of the day, like it's more other shit that you got to worry about when you leave that field and go home. The basketball court, the football field, that's your safe haven. Like I don't think about nothing outside of that when I'm there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing else to think about because this is what I'm doing, and that was like, believe it or not, that was almost like my peace at the time. But then once I leave that, I got to go back to real life. You know, so I always tell people, like, when I put my shoulder pads on, I was in a whole nother space. Like, I wouldn't worry about shit outside. Shit outside the football field.
So stop the presses, all you people saying LeBron isn't clutch, and these guys aren't clutch, because as an 18-year-old kid, I know the show's about you, but I got to get out of my chest. As an 18-year-old kid, y'all thrown him, and he's still here, and we're about to win number 5. Ring 5. I said it. Patrick, you think the Rockets can beat these Lakers? What does Shannon Sharp say? Chewbacca, Charles Barkley, Houston Rockets, Lakers in 5. No, but in all seriousness, I love that, the pressure talk, because that's really the truth. Like how he said it, that's not pressure. And those high performers, you mentioned Kobe and Mike, you were a former Jordan athlete. Mm-hmm. I've never asked you this. Did you ever get to have those talks with Michael, like about greatness or about the commitment to your craft to be able to excel and pursue what he pursued? What were those conversations like, or what did you pick up from
the crazy thing, like
being around Mike?
So
this is Michael Jordan, by the way. Second GOAT.
So being around,
you know what? Gotta take the third shot. This is actually Michael Jordan's tequila, so shout out to Jordan.
Yeah, shout out to Mike, man.
It's a big one for your boy.
Mike was.
Sorry, Priscilla. Dose, what the fuck you doing?
The funny shit is, man,
Michael.
We used to have a.
That's what it feels like to be the second GOAT.
So we used to have a trip we used to take every year. He would bring his football guys and basketball guys.
Okay.
We would always go to Mexico, some part of Mexico, and it was always a great time. Because he had more basketball guys than football guys, but it was more of like he wanted us to kind of, just mingle and get to know each other and things of that nature. So it was little things we would do on those trips, design like different shoes and all kind of shit. Like it was fun. It was a hell of a trip. I really got to build some good relationships with basketball guys and things of that nature. But being around him, the funny shit is he literally one night, I never forget this. We were all sitting. He was sitting in the middle, and we were all sitting around him. But of course, the basketball guys, because he played basketball, they would talk shit to him, and he literally broke every one of them. He broke their game down and told them what he would do to him if he played against them. Like one by one. Like it was the most amazing shit to like, cause we football guys, so we don't. So we sitting there, we all around him, but they talking shit to him, like they talking like cash shit, and he's sitting, oh motherfucker, if I played you, you can't do nothing. All you can do is go right, make your ass go left. Like he like literally broke every one of their games down one by one, and it was the most amazing thing because it was like, damn, this guy don't even play the game no more, but he's that involved to where like he can sit there and tell you about your game and tell you what he would do to you even if he played you right now. Like that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, but to see that and witness that, it was a hell of a thing, man, because I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was the kid. I want to be like Mike, like those commercials. And then to actually be signed to his brand, man, that was a fucking, like, that was dope.
Yeah, how did that even come about? So you were drafted 2003.
Yeah.
And I know people, they get deals and stuff. So how did the Jordan deal come about?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people don't know this story, but so shout out Uncle Wes, man. I just talked to Uncle Wes last night, man. I was texting about the tournament. You heard of World Wide West before? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Wes is a UM guy. He's been at UM since the Jimmy Johnson days.
Okay.
Wes hit me one day on some shit. So Kyrie was in high school at the time.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving. He was in high school at the time. They actually came here to play in a basketball tournament.
Okay.
So Kyrie was like, man, not Kyrie, I'm sorry. Wes was like, man, I got my nephew coming in town. The team is coming in town. Can you take him out to eat? So I'm like, yeah, like, Wes, like, come on, like, you know, I got you if you ask me. Like, yeah, that's nothing. And, but I wasn't able to go. So I called the restaurant and gave him my credit card info. And I was like, hey, whatever they get, just put it on this card. You know, I'm going to take care of it. It's cool. So Wes called me. He like, hey, man, like, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. He was like, man, you want to come to the game with me? And I'm like, I ain't got shit going on. Like, yeah. That's the game I told you I went to the Detroit Pistons and Boston Celtics game.
Yeah.
I told you that was one of the best games I ever saw in my life. That was the year when Ray Allen and all them got to Boston. So they were playing in Detroit. So we went to the game.
Hold on. The reason why they created that team was to take down LeBron because they couldn't handle LeBron.
Man, we ain't talking.
Just letting you know. KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. We got the last laugh because Ray Allen came over to Miami, took a step back, bang! Back away.
But anyway, so when we were there at the game, Wes like, he said some shit. He was like, man, we might could get you on the Jordan brand if y'all win some games.
Okay.
And to me, it just kind of, I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like, winning one out the other. Long story short, I actually end up seeing Jordan. So, me and Charles Oakley are real, like, Charles Oakley, like, that's my guy.
The real Draymond Green.
Yeah, so we built our relationship, met him in Vegas, and we've been locked in ever since. That's a big like.
Okay.
Oh, no bullshit. Like, he real deal. So I see Oak in Miami. So when I see him, he like, man, I'm gonna take you up and introduce you to MJ. So I'm like, all right, but I ain't thinking nothing of it because we in Club Live, and I'm gonna take you up and introduce. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I ain't thinking nothing of it, but at the end of the day, it's my first time meeting him. So, you know, I'm just like, damn, like, I get to meet Jordan. Like, that's Michael Jordan. Like, I get to meet Michael Jordan for the first time. So, take me up there, we meet, talk, whatever. And I don't stay up that long. I stay up there maybe like 5 minutes, me and Oak talking. Me and MJ exchange a few words, and then we leave. And so, when we get outside the Club Live.
Okay, before you get on to that.
Yeah.
It was your first time meeting Michael.
Yeah.
Was he Black Jesus? What was the aura like? I want to know what it was like for you. You hear these
Well,
stories.
it was a club. Okay. So, you know, it wasn't like I seen him on the basketball court or anything like that. So we're in a club. It's Club Live. So,
okay.
we get outside, and my uncle is Jordan, like, God rest his soul, but he's Jordan, like, that's all he ever talked about, like, as far as basketball. So he walks over to him and, introduces himself. My uncle does. And they over there talking, so my uncle's like, hey, come here. So I go over, I'm like, what's up? He like, oh, this is my nephew. I guess Jordan must have asked him who was he there with. And he was like, I'm here with my nephew. He was like, who's your nephew? He was like, Andre. So when I walked over, Jordan was like, man, I'm going to sign you. And I was like, sign me? Like, what you talking? He was like, I'm going to sign you. He was like, who your shoe deal with? He was like, you with Adidas? It's so crazy. I was signing to Nike at the time. I had some shell top Adidas on. And he was like, you with Adidas? I'm like, nah. I'm with Nike. He was like, I'm going to sign you. And I had a year left on my Nike deal. So I go to Oregon that off season, coming into that off season, and I was supposed to meet with the Jordan Brand people on that trip.
What year were you in? Second year, third year? With the Texans?
I was later. I was like in year like 6, like 5 or 6.
Okay.
And man, shit, they was trying to buy me out the deal.
Jordan was?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were trying to get me out of my Nike deal.
Did they have any football guys at the time?
Yeah, they did.
Who was the football class before you signed that deal eventually?
So they had like Sapp, Randy Moss.
Sapp was on the Jordan?
Sapp, Randy Moss, Marvin Harrison. But those guys were kind of
on the way out.
On the way out. So it was like they were trying to, get back, bring new guys in. So when I came in, shit, it wasn't really many guys. And they signed a lot of guys that were younger than me afterwards. But he told me, though, at the club, he was like, I'm going to sign you. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I never forget the guy from Nike called me and he was like, you really want to go to the Jordan Brand? I'm like, hell yeah. Like, who don't want to go to that? You know what I'm saying? So when I signed with him, man, I tell people all the time, being with Jordan Brand is probably, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about nothing but being around greatness. Like, to be surrounded with that, like, for you to be, you can sit here and say, I was a Jordan Brand athlete. Not many people can say that.
Luka.
Not many people can say that, But for him, in his own right, to see me and say, I want him to be a part of my brand, that says everything to me. That shows everything that you've done has been done. It may not have been done the right way, but it was done in a way to where he recognized your greatness. So I can't, like, to be a part of that, man, that was probably like, those relationships right now, I still have those relationships. I tell people those, like, great people, great thing to be around. It was to be around him and see him, and just like, even like when I made the Hall of Fame, man, he called me and was like, man, you don't, like, it's a hell of a thing you've done. Like, to get that phone call from him.
Michael Jordan calling you about the Hall of Fame. That's the definition of a dub.
Yeah, so to get that phone call from him and sit on the phone and talk to him about it, it was a hell of a thing, man. Like, as a kid coming from Miami, and to be able to sit on the phone and have a guy of that caliber call you, like, you would never in a million years think you would do some shit like that.
Well, with those connections, Michael, Jeffrey Jordan, we got Andre Johnson here. We're taking number 4. Number 4, if you want to send Mr. Your Airness, Mr. Andre Johnson,
I have a feeling we're going to be here for 3-4 hours.
A bottle of tequila. We're looking for sponsors, Mike. I haven't made the commitment to Lobos Tequila. But you may not want to send me one, because what I'm about to ask Dre next may hurt your feelings. Mr. Jeffrey Jordan. All right, Dre.
I already know what the next
4 of
question
6.
is going.
All you people saying I can't keep up, I'm still here. Before we get to the next question, and we would love a bottle, Michael. Dre, make that happen for me. Make it happen for me. Before we get to that conversation, I got to get back to Dion real quick. He said you texted him about some advice.
Mm-hmm.
Did he give you the same advice that he gave Chad Ochocinco?
What advice was that?
They were on Club Shay Shay, and Dion was with Ocho and Shannon Sharp. He said, "Oh no, I can't have you on the coaching staff there, Chad. Why not, Dion? Not Prime. It requires a lot of work ethic." So he's spitting at Chad like,
Right.
it's a lot of time, and I know you ain't got the time.
Right.
Oh no, I'll come in with the cleats on, get some work. It's exactly. You just come in as an appearance. You can't be a coach yet. What did he say about the coaching stuff when you were talking about the TSU job?
He just basically he told me, he said, man, it's different with the HBCUs. He was like, they don't really have the money
Okay,
to, fund a lot of things.
got it.
But he was like, I can connect you because he went the HBCU route. So he was
Yeah,
like,
because he was with Jackson State.
yeah,
That's HBCU, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was like, I can connect you with my people, and then you can kind of, move forward from there. And I get why he told Chad that, because Chad, that's my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love Chad to death. Chad called me every time he come to Houston. We always have a good time. But as a coach, no, Chad can't be no coach. He ain't got time. Chad ain't got time to be no coach. He ain't got time. Because, I'm going to tell you some crazy shit. The one thing I can say about Chad, me and Chad was sitting, he probably don't even remember this shit. We was sitting in the year when the Giants beat the Patriots.
Okay.
The first one, not the second one, the first one in Arizona. Me and Chad was sitting in Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
He went through some shit with the Cincinnati Bengals, and he told me, he's like, Dre, have you ever seen me go through something with an organization? He was like, man, just beat me up. He was like, he said, man, please call me and tell me I ain't gonna win. He was like, because that was one of the worst things I ever did. But he told me in that same day, he was like, I'm preparing for life after football.
No lick. Sorry, Dre.
Nah, this is my guy.
He woke up from his nap.
You good, Sly? But he told me, he said he was Sly like licking on me for some reason.
He gonna figure out his spot.
But he told me, he was like, he was preparing for life after football.
Chad was?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when he told me that, I laughed. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Chad, you crazy. He was like, nah. He was like, I'm preparing for life after football.
Uh-huh.
Not knowing that he was going to be to the point of like, I'm not going to say, I don't know what Chad makes or whatever, like, but I know Chad's well off. Like,
yeah.
I'm not count pockets, none of that shit. But Chad does so much shit, man. Like, I think Chad is probably more famous now than he was when he played football. And that's not me saying that in no bad way. Like, people love him. But if you get to know him, like his demeanor, his aura, like when you're around him, like he gives you that like fun, like let's have a good time, like and I love that about him. Like he's a hell of a dude, man. That's my guy. And I'm super, super excited. Like even him being on First Take now.
Yeah.
Like that's amazing, man. Like we come from the city of Miami where we never had those. Like we never ever thought, we'll be on those platforms. But to see a guy that I seen come from where I'm from to see him sitting on that stage and
winning.
doing those. Yeah, like that shit is amazing to me.
Yep. Shout out to Club Shay Shay, man. You made me a believer. I love watching the show, Shannon Sharp. It's my guy. Lakers in 5. So yeah, let's get down. Oh wait, before we get down to the Jordan debate, are we good? How we doing, Aaron? Get on camera. Okay. What is it about the U, and then we'll get to Jordan, that makes it the greatest college football team ever assembled? Why is the
You
U?
want stats?
Just tell me. I want to hear it from you.
So what? So let me ask you this: What do you base things on? Like when you watch shit,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So what do you base it on? Stats? Or you base it on numbers? Like what do you base it on?
Again, I'm not the guy.
I'm asking you a question.
This is where
I'm
I
not
need
no.
this.
See, this is where me and you go back and forth.
This is where I need
I'm
time.
asking. Call Taj. Put Taj on speakerphone.
Okay, here we go. We're doing a live.
What are you basing it off of?
Doing a live airway here.
Yeah, call Taj.
He's got 2 kids now. We'll see if he answers. I got a team that'll beat your ass.
He
University
ain't
of
got no
Miami.
chance. He like that Tebow shit. That shit is garbage.
Couldn't beat Tebow when he was in Houston. Y'all blew that lead.
I didn't play.
Told Aaron the same thing.
I didn't play.
Y'all blew that lead.
I didn't play.
Hello.
Okay, this is great. I told Dre we wouldn't probably get you on the podcast, but here you are. You got a quick moment, or are you with Cash or Kano?
They're both sleeping.
Okay, they're both sleeping. So,
That's good. Come on, Taj.
so we got Taj on the line. So we were talking about the greatest college football team to ever play. And Dre's question is, what are you basing it off of? Right? You said you're basing
I
it
said,
off of
what you
stat?
basing it off
Okay.
of?
So I told this is where I need Taj at. So I'm basing it off of what I've seen and who I believe in. And I feel like the Tim Tebow Gators, had a little Gator Miami University of Miami rivalry, would have spanked your guys' Miami
We whooped
University of
their
Miami
ass this
team.
year, dude. Too.
So, Stodge, who is the greatest college football team ever assembled, and what are you basing it off of?
Honestly,
Yeah, honestly, I don't care if Dre's here or not.
his team's the best.
Thank you.
This isn't bullshit.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Taj. I know, Taj. That's one thing I can say about you. You gonna tell the truth every time. Taj, you gonna tell the truth every time. I that's one thing I love about you.
That's the point about that podcast.
Yeah, you got to tell the truth.
That is tell you the truth.
He keep talking about this Tim Tebow shit. Hey, Tim Tebow was great. He's one of the greatest college football players of all time. I'm not denying that. But as a team, they couldn't fuck with us.
Stodge, come on, man.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this. No, Taj, listen. He can't name one team ever in the history of football that had 17 first rounders on one team.
Okay, before we get to the 17
No,
first rounders.
no. Fuck that.
Hold on.
No.
This guy's got a Hublot watch on with the Tebow wrist strap. Yeah, shout out to Jay-Z. Shout out to Tebow. Fuck the first round picks. We're talking about Aaron Hernandez. Who was the other tight end, Stodge? Tripping.
You don't even know.
That's why I said I need Taj.
Exactly.
Who's the other tight end?
Right.
Or was it the other guy?
You don't know.
Yeah, Aaron.
Harvard.
Okay, Aaron
Percy
Hernandez,
Harvin.
Percy Harvin. Who was the other guy?
Percy Harvin was the best player on that team.
I'm only referring to this guy
No,
because
but who was the best player on
he
that
got
team?
in some trouble with his
I'm
words.
asking.
Who was the white boy that had that long hair that was a receiver?
That was Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper, Aaron Hernandez. Who else did we say?
You said Riley.
Percy Harvin.
Riley Cooper.
Hold on. Tim Tebow. You're telling me your defense is going to contain Tim Tebow?
You want me to name who was on my defense?
Go ahead, name him.
My man, DJ Williams, Ed Reed,
Okay, Todd's gonna name it for
All right, Stodge, go ahead and name him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Philip Buchanan,
Yeah,
Antrell Roll,
Vince Wilfork.
Wolford clogging up the middle, and they had attitude.
We talked about the attitude. We get that. The swagger. We get
another
it.
team that's close is 04 USC with Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart.
No, they was loaded, but they wouldn't have beat us.
They had the linebackers, the defense.
That was Cushion them. They had Cushion, Malaluga.
That was a nasty team.
01 Hurricanes, man. You got McGahee, Portis.
Okay, all right. I'm going to give it to Dre. That's what he wants to say. He wants to claim he's the best. He didn't win a Super Bowl championship. I'll give him the U. Okay? I'll give him the U. Okay, who's second best?
USC.
That Cush team?
Yeah.
Okay, and then number 3. You got Tebow in top 5?
Fuck no.
This is a bowl job.
The
Lakers in 5.
what they call them? The Nebraska team with Tommy Frazier?
With Eric Crouch?
No, Tommy Frazier.
Side, you know what Tommy?
Eric Crouch.
You know what Tommy Frazier?
Tommy Frazier. Was it Tommy Frazier? The
black-
team that
the
beat
black
Florida in the national championship.
the black shirts.
The black shirts.
Okay, so you got Andre Johnson, the U, USC, Reggie Bush, and then
You know the crazy thing, and I'm not gonna bullshit you. A lot of people feel like the 80. What year did we lose to Penn State?
keyword lost. Lost.
It was when Testaverde was the quarterback at UM, but I was only like 2 years old probably at this time.
Okay.
But it was like
Oh, that was
when they lost to Penn State. Taj.
yeah, that was my boy Dennis Erickson was there.
No. This was before that. It was like 80 something. But anyway, they feel like that was the best team ever in UM history, even though
Okay, well, anyways, Tebow, calling you out here. I think your University of Florida team is better than the University of Miami team. University of Miami team, don't come at me. I got Dre's protection. He's my security guard.
Tebow's aging better than Ken Dorsey though.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd.
Ken Dorsey.
Watch your mouth, Todd.
45-year-old.
Don't talk about my quarterback like that. You know the crazy thing?
That's the only quarterback you had. That's the only quarterback you had,
You
Dre.
know some crazy shit, and I ain't tell nobody this. We're actually getting inducted into the Ring of Honor this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Before I dap you up, Ring of Honor. Congrats, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Ring of Honor. Bam. So Staj, we still have that debate. You know, we just talked about his Michael Jordan deal. The next topic is going to be, who is the real GOAT? Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. You're not signed with Jordan no more. He's going to send us a bottle of tequila. So who's the real GOAT?
The real GOAT?
Lakers in 5.
The real GOAT. Michael Jordan.
This guy. I'm walking out. Daily Dose signing out. It's some bull jive. Okay? Where's your reasoning, Mr. Andre Johnson? Sorry, we're keeping Sadaj on the line for this one.
I think it depends on I think it depends on the era you grew up in.
You talking about the era where Michael Jordan was playing against some bums? I still want the tequila. Sorry, J. He wasn't playing against Kyrie. Wasn't playing against Steph. Wasn't playing against KD. None of those guys.
I'm not saying
Okay.
that.
Go ahead. Proceed. Taj on the line.
LeBron's my guy. I love.
Go James.
That's like family to me. But anyway,
We need that Lobos tequila. Hey. Get the Lobos tequila over you.
I'm here, Randy. I'm gonna have Randy send you some. Anyway, for me is Mike, and that's because that's what I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's nothing against Bron. It's nothing against. Like, I do think that he makes the argument of who is the GOAT. And I feel like when you can make an argument of who is the GOAT,
Mm-hmm.
then that shit, it can go either way. So, but for me, is Mike, because that's what I grew up on. That's like, this man fucking shoes is still selling right now to this day. Like, everybody's looking for Jordan shoes, and I don't really know how else to explain it, man. That was, I want to be like Mike, all that shit. Like,
Okay. Okay.
MJ's my goat.
Okay.
Because that's what I grew up on.
No problem. Staj?
Now, if you base it off numbers, then you can.
No, not numbers. Just talking about overall what he had to go through, what he did, what he accomplished, and a little bit of longevity.
It's Kobe.
This motherfucker would say Kobe. You being dead serious?
Yeah, because Kobe did everything Jordan did and brought more intensity to it, was more focused off the court, more driven, did it one with Shaq, did without Shaq, played just like Mike. He
Okay.
just gets lost in the conversation because Jordan transcended the game, took it to a whole nother level, evolved it, and that's what LeBron did too. But to me, Kobe does everything Jordan does, gets the rings, shoots like him, plays like him, and he teaches more of the mentality where Jordan was off the court, gambling, messing around, getting in trouble, retired 2 times.
Cut Taj off. cut Taj off.
No. This is Tell Your Truth. We're going to speak the truth about the GOATs.
Cut Taj off.
So you got Kobe 1. Who's your 2?
Jordan,
This motherfucker. Who's 3?
probably LeBron.
Okay. Dre?
He
Jordan 1?
said probably.
Yeah, I know. It's whatever. He's just mad he didn't meet him. You got Jordan 1.
Jordan 1.
Who's 2?
I gotta.
We got to think about.
Jordan struck more fear in anyone than anyone ever played.
Okay.
So that's what I would say. People fear Jordan.
Okay. Go ahead. Keep going until I can get my cup.
They don't necessarily fear LeBron.
Okay. Are you done? Or you got to get more to say?
No,
LeBron's
just
going
being
on
honest.
vacation with his own
Okay.
enemies.
All right. Hold on here. So before we
But
get
we're
to
in a-
that,
no, but
before we
we're-
get to
we're in a
that,
different time too.
no,
Like,
fuck the time.
Okay.
Fuck the time. Bill Laimbeer, I don't give a fuck. Put Bill Laimbeer in the middle of an NBA game right now. He ain't taking the shots. He ain't knocking people out, and people are gonna just use and abuse him. Okay. All right. Hold on. So you mean to tell me an 18-year-old kid, from Andre Johnson's words,
Yeah, he was
who was
wrong.
crowned as the guy, the chosen one, and to still be in this league today with his son on the team with a new coach, JJ Redick, who are they're going to win their 5th title with, and LeBron James is going to win his 5th ring with, and he beat the best team ever assembled down 3-1 in Game 7 in Cleveland, delivered a championship to Cleveland for the first time in how many years? And you guys are going to sit here and tell me that Michael Jordan is the greatest and LeBron didn't fear anybody. Nobody feared LeBron. Jason Terry didn't fear LeBron. Paul Pierce didn't fear LeBron. Last time I checked, they brought the big 3 to take down LeBron.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Toronto didn't fear LeBron? Oh, they feared him. They feared him. They needed to assemble the big 3. The big 3. Y'all forget about it. Y'all want to talk about. Y'all want to talk about Ray Allen. I mean, hold on. Y'all want to talk about LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. Before the big 3, there were the big 3 slapdicks in Boston. Ray Allen, love him. Thank you, Ray. KG, a dog. Paul Pierce, I'm sorry, dog. You were on a wheelchair and you came back. You assembled a big 3 to take down LeBron. So last time I checked,
Those same big 3.
hold on. Last time I checked, Boston assembled a big 3. When Warriors couldn't beat LeBron, they assembled a big 4. And then when the Spurs couldn't beat LeBron, they just relied on Popovich. You ain't gonna tell me my GOAT is LeBron James. I'm sorry, I'm leaving it. I got LeBron.
No,
I got LeBron 1, Kobe 2, Michael 3. Michael, I still want your tequila. I love you.
No, I always tell people the 2 best for me is Mike and LeBron.
Mike and LeBron?
Yeah,
Okay.
those are and I love Kobe. Like I love Kobe, but I think like the shit LeBron has done, man. Like that shit we'll never see that ever
No.
again in life.
He keeps me up at 9 p.m. and 9:30 on weekdays.
As long as I'm living, we'll never see that again.
Jordan is just
Ever.
he's he's the guy everyone wanted to be, and LeBron wanted to be Jordan.
Okay, to end this debate, and then I'll
I
let
always
you.
go with the Kobe thing just because I take it to the next level and like what he did playing wise. But yeah, overall impact, setting the tone, the standard, that's Jordan.
Okay, before we end this debate, shout out to Gilbert Arenas. I've been watching the Gilbert Arenas.
They yell too much on their podcast. I don't know.
He does.
They
He does.
they yell about everything over there. They can't have a normal
But when I'm talking
conversation.
about the different level of competition and the road that LeBron had to go through, and if it's a big if Scottie Pippen would have ever got hurt, would Jordan be able to pull out and win those rings? I don't think so, man.
Well, I'll say this.
Dodge, what'd you say?
Hold on.
I don't think it's close. He still does it.
No,
No.
listen.
Come
no,
on, man.
not. You know when Jordan left, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to Orlando.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen led the way.
Yeah. That same team that Jordan was on, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals the year Jordan left, and they lost to. That's when Shaq and Penny beat them.
And there is no situation where any LeBron-less team has ever done that. Ever.
You know what? That's what I have the hardest part with, because whenever he leaves, the team goes to shit.
LeBron?
Yeah.
For sure.
That is my. That's where I have my, like, I'll be on the fence, because I'm like, this dude can get with the team, and the motherfuckers are saying.
I just don't like how
But as soon as
LeBron
he-
doesn't have his own personality. He's always trying to be two different guys.
I mean, two different guys.
Hang Taj up, man.
All right, we're ending the GOAT debate. Jordan, we still want some tequila. Andre and LeBron. LeBron, I need both tequilas. Okay, Stodge, you got Kobe, Jordan, then LeBron. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not meeting LeBron. Dre, you got Dre, you got Jordan,
Right.
LeBron,
then
Kobe.
Yeah.
And I got Go James, Lakers in 5, Rockets will see you first round. Tim Tebow, I got you over the University of Miami. All right, Stodge, you get back to your kids. Thank you for joining on the Daily Dose. We ended the debate of the GOATs.
Why you still talking about Tebow?
How about? Because Tebow, you couldn't beat Tebow.
I never lost to Tebow.
In Houston, when you guys blew a 21-point lead, the same conversation I had with Arian.
I didn't play. So.
Okay, anyways, LeBron is the GOAT in my eyes.
These games don't count when I don't play.
So,
They don't count when I don't play. You ain't got
damn,
no tequila.
we're out of that one.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Next
close.
question.
We're gonna close this out with shout out to Nando. This is number 5. I said 6. This is number 5 of 6. Almost done, Dre.
I ain't in a rush. We can keep talking. This might be your longest show ever, so we can keep going. That's fine.
There's number 5. Fuck am I doing?
We can keep going.
Come a long way since the Don Julio. This is
How many more questions you got?
we gotta talk about the Texans and White Congo, and we're out. I don't know what this
That's
is.
it. That's all. That's all.
We got some more too.
Yeah, come on. We can keep going.
Aaron, how we doing on the battery life? Shout out to Nando on the tequila. How we doing?
Take this shot.
We
It's
can
number
keep-
5.
We can keep going.
How we doing?
Audio's good. Keep going.
Okay.
I got nothing but time.
He got
So,
time today.
I
So,
got time today.
so getting back
I made the day for you, man. So
means a lot, man. You know
yeah.
that jersey.
Even though
means-
you done called me a million times, like can you?
Well, hold on. This is all about telling the truth. We're gonna tell the truth. Is that camera rolling? Okay. Okay. I love Dre. I love him. And I know how he operates. And he means nothing by this. So this conversation started back in Thursday, December 19th. What's good, Dre? Would you want to do my podcast on my house this Sunday at 1? Priscilla can make us some food after, and we can have a good time afterwards. Just let me know. No pressure. No response. December 21st, no response. Saw him at the Rockets game. Oh, man, I promised I get to the podcast. So it is March 23rd.
I'm here, right?
We got Andre Johnson in my house in the man cave.
I'm here, right?
Talked about Dion, the come up, the University of Miami, Tim Tebow, the true GOAT. Randy, what's his name? We gotta talk to. We gotta talk to Lobos guy and Michael.
Yeah.
We got a couple tequila balls. Now we're gonna get back to how we started this show. I met Dre in 2013. He was going through that time. And Dre has trained with others, his strength coach, and whoever he wants to. Dre, what was it about this? Now, this is finally for me. About me that obviously, shout out to Arian that brought you in to Night Innovations at the time. What was it that about me that you eventually stuck around from when I first met you? Because I'm just a kid from Wyoming, don't know me, and never met you, no connections.
It was, for me, like, I don't get it caught up into the he say, she say, they say. Like, I don't get caught up into that. And
Lakers in 5.
you from the time I always trained with you, you've always just been like, even when I remember the first time I ever trained with you, like, you always ask questions, how you feel, what's this, what's that. Like, you was always inquisitive about things. And I was just like, you know what, like, that's a good dude. Like, he wanted to know, like, what's going on. He wanted to know about the guy that he's training. So, for me, it was just like, you know what, like, because I never had trained out here with nobody.
Okay.
Until I trained with you. So, it was my first time ever training outside of me going back to Miami, because I had... So at the time when I started training with you, it's so crazy how this shit happened. Like, I had sold my stuff, my condo in Miami.
Okay.
So I had made here home. So that's why I started training here. And I had never trained with nobody here. So you the first person I ever trained with. And when you was just asking me, like, how you feel? What's this? What's that? Like you was asking so many questions. And I'm like, shit, like, this is my guy. Like, I ain't, you know, I'm a... you know, be with him. And not only that, like, the training shit that you had me doing, like, it was just kind of like, and then you was telling me about the D-Rose thing and all those things. Like, you shared stuff with me, too. So, I was just like, man, like, ain't no reason for me. Like, I got a good training. Like, fuck, I'm going somewhere else for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and any time, like, I remember I tell you sometimes I'll be there at 5 in the morning. I got a flight, and you'll be like, "Not fucking coming." And I'll walk in there, and you'll be like, "Damn, bro, like how you did it."
Mm-hmm.
But that just, like I said, like, you just gotta know, like, keep the main thing the main thing, and that was always my main thing. Like, I always wanted to be better, not only as a football player, but I just wanted to be better just life. So that's why I still train right now today. Like, it's not like Ray Lewis said, it's not a thing I'm doing because I have to do it. It's just a lifestyle. So that's why I continue to do what I'm doing.
That means a lot to me because when I first moved here, I was on a mission. And being a 23-year-old, I would say kid, because I was a 23-year-old kid, and I was fortunate enough to be in that position to have you, Arian, OD, Chris Myers, all these guys, Eric Winston, another U guy.
Yeah.
And it was just a magical time, and I was spoiled with greatness. I was living in the moment, I really was. But when you take yourself out of it now, and as I've grown and evolved as a man and as a business person and have my own brand, what a time.
Yeah.
What a time. I'm talking about in GQ.
Yeah. Y'all didn't have no fucking AC.
No AC. Big garage
I
door.
remember we used to be in there, we would be sweating like crazy, and we'd be like, God damn, like, how much we got left? Because it was so hot.
Yeah.
Because it gets so hot here.
Yeah.
And we're in a damn garage, like, training. And, bro, I remember, like, it would be so wet on the floor from the sweat. people would literally try to mop the shit up while we was working out. Like, it was those are moments you can't get back, you know. And I'll say this, man, like, to see from that to see where you going now, your Congo brand and everything, man. Like, it's always, for me, it's a joy to see, man. Like,
Thank you, bro.
I'm happy for you. Even though I don't respond all the time, but you know I got your back, and I'm always gonna, you know, make sure, you know, if you need me for anything, I'm always make sure, you know, I'm there. But bro, like, to see where you came from to where you're at now, it's a hell of a thing, bro. And I'm super, super, super proud of you, man. I want to tell you that, bro, because a lot of people don't capitalize on what they have. I remember when you was training in the post-oak, you know, and you was being a little negative at the time because you didn't know where things were going to go. But at the end of the day, you know, I was there. I seen the whole climb to get to where you at now. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even when you told me, like, Adrian, I'm training at the post-oak, I never said, oh, no, I ain't coming over there to work out. Like, I came to the post-oak.
Yeah.
We didn't have much over there.
But a nice fucking sauna, though.
Yeah, we had a nice sauna, but we went over there and we made it happen. I done trained with you in your fucking garage at your house, bro. So, like, at 2 houses. So, I'm like I said, man, I'm just super, super excited for you, man, and what you built, the Congo brand, your supplements, all that shit. Like, it's dope, man.
Thank you, Dre.
I'm happy to see that for you.
Thank you. That's the ultimate dub coming from a guy who doesn't say much, speak much, and he's a big action guy. And I appreciate that because I take pride, you know, how my schedule is. I take pride waking up at 3 a.m., starting my day at 4 a.m.
You're still crazy, though, for doing that.
I still am.
Yeah.
Because
that's
the
not happening.
Oh, I already know.
3 a.m.
The difference between me and Jason Tatum.
You're not better than Jason
Hold
Tatum.
on. I'm just letting you know.
That's my dog.
These
You
are
ain't
really
better
my
than
moments.
Jason Tatum.
This is not up 2-0.
You're not better than
I'm letting
Jason
you know.
Tatum. You can't-
Jason Tatum, you got to work on your own celebrations.
Nah.
The up 2-0, that was Kobe's. The whatever.
You
What,
can't fuck with
what
him.
would I do now? I guess they would never know.
You
Come
can't
on, man.
fuck with Jason Tatum.
Anyways, what I'm saying
Well, go
is,
ahead. You can't fuck with him.
how you approach your career and your profession, how Goat James has performed in his career and his profession is generally, and LeBron and Kobe is generally how I take on my craft and my position.
I know,
in
but
life.
you're not really that good, though.
This guy gonna say I'm not good. He just praised me for about 10 years of work.
No. I'm not saying you're not good as a trainer.
Okay.
You be lifting them light ass weights.
I think right now, the old man who hasn't been in the gym, I can probably out squat and deadlift you now. Now,
Bro.
2 years ago, maybe not.
No, fuck that.
Okay.
What happened when I text you?
That was different.
No.
That was different.
No.
I was LeBron getting the Miami dose. I wasn't dose going
He
back
ever
to
told you
Cleveland
this
3-1.
He ever
Go
told you
ahead.
this
Go
story?
ahead.
So he deadlifts one day, and he's deadlifting. He's red as fuck.
This is band tension.
Man, fuck that.
And Dre's never done band
Nobody's-
tension. Okay, go ahead.
He's lifting one day. He's lifting. He's deadlifting, and he's red as fuck, and he's motherfucker, like talking shit, and I'm like, that light ass weight. So he brings me in. I come in. I just came in just because I seen him do that. So I was just proving him wrong. I'm like, that shit light. So I came in. You can't do this. You can't do this. That. Man, I lift that shit and walked off. Did I or did I not? Did I or did I not? You don't want to answer the question?
Hold on.
I'm putting exactly. You don't want to answer the question.
Hold on.
Did I or did I not?
He did.
Okay, thank you.
That was 4 years ago.
That wasn't
Again,
4
I'm
years
getting
ago.
back to
That was not 4
this
years
is
ago.
I'm the dose in Cleveland right now, delivering a championship down 3-1.
That was
This is
not
a whole
4
different
years
ball-
ago.
Dre,
That was not 4 years ago, Dose.
I will pull up the tapes. We'll find out. I'm not gonna pull it up now because we
I
got things to
guarantee
talk
you
about.
4 years ago.
But, anyways, how tall are you?
6'2".
How much do you weigh?
I don't know what I was.
How much you weigh?
About 225.
5'10", 170. Hell yeah, he should live more than me, but it's okay. I like that shit.
You in the gym.
I embrace that shit.
You in the gym every day.
Exactly, yeah. Mamba mentality. I am in the gym every day.
Every day.
Every day. And everybody, I'm going against the world. That's how I've operated. I'm going against the world. You know why? Because I want to be the best. You know why I want to be the best? Because I've been surrounded by the best. I got a guy in my house, who never won a ring. Has won a national championship, though.
So I won a ring.
Hold on.
And I got a Hall of Fame ring.
I was just about to get to that.
Okay. So
Every
now
day,
what?
every day for me is Game 7 mentality, is my NBA championship. And I'm glad you said what you said because I put that on my chest and I put that pressure on me to go excel and do what I'm supposed to do. So where I'm at in life right now is where I should be because I have the high expectations, just like if you had the high expectations of yourself to be the best and hopefully win a Super Bowl one day and become a Hall of Famer. So, that being said, Ultimate Dub, Dre, Hall of Famer. Big dub right there, a lot of dubs for Dre. What was that? What was that like? Because you got gypped out of the first ballot.
Yeah.
Did you ever have stressors like, damn, am I ever going to get in? And when you finally got in, what was all that process like? And finally being a Hall of Famer and knowing the years and years of work has finally paid off. I didn't get too much involved in the Houston Texans. Anybody who knows Dre, he is Houston. He is H-Town. I wish they would have never traded him, and I think they wish they would have never traded him either. He should have got his, farewell moment, but he didn't. But the way things work out is you're an active Houston Texan now on some podcast stuff, and people look up to you. And at the end of the day, man, you got that Hall of Fame, and that's what it's all about. Should have been a first ballot, but yeah, Hall of Famer.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, that shit is different. It's a whole different, it's a different ball game when you talk about that because it's a fraternity inside of a fraternity. Because there's only, so now it was 378.
Okay.
When I went in. They put it was Eric Allen, Antonio Gates, God damn, I can't think of the DN name.
Want to call Tosh?
Jason Allen. Is it Jason Allen? They put Jared Allen and Sterling Sharp. So 4 guys that went in. So at the end of the day, it ain't a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? So to be a part of that small fraternity, and when you think about how many guys have played the game of football, right? And you can sit there and say, I'm one of the best to ever do it. Getting that knock on my door from Chris Carter, I think people, like, that probably might be the most emotion I ever showed for anything. So my agent set that whole thing up.
You had no idea.
I had no idea.
Okay.
So I'm at the house. My mom comes over, but I'm still not thinking nothing. Like, my mom comes over. My agent gave me this whole spiel. Hey, man, I want to put you in my will to make sure, like, if something happens to me, I want to make sure my son's okay. Like, I want you to be responsible for my son. And I'm like, all right, shit. Like, but that's me anyway. So, like, if something happened to somebody I'm close with, like, I'm going to always make sure, they kids are, I'm always keep in touch with their kids, So, man, so he tells me that. So he was like, I'm going to need 2 witnesses for you to sign these papers. Like, we got to have witnesses. So I'm like, all right. Like, so he was like, well, I don't have no family here, so I'm going to use your mom and your brother as the witnesses. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, let's get it done. I'm thinking like it's just a normal day. I'm finna sign these papers. My mom and my brother can take their ass back home. Like, cause you know me, I like to be by myself. Like, I don't be around like a lot of people. So, bro, we get there. So then, like, so my brother, his son, Montez, he's 1 year old now, but he was a baby then. So like, I'm walking outside. I got my nephew, and I'm just walking with him. I'm literally walking laps around my pool in the backyard. So my brother comes outside, and he was like, "Hey, Kennard," my agent. He was like, "Hey, Kennard, say come in the house." So I'm like, all right. I'm thinking like the lawyer finna come in and we're gonna sign the papers and get this shit over with and go. Man, so somebody knocks on the door. And I'm like, why the fuck they ain't ringing the doorbell? Like, I have a doorbell, so they knock, boom, 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 boom. And so when I walk from where I walk from, it's like, because where I was at, you couldn't see the front. So I'm in the kitchen to get my brother's son back. And I walk around to see the front door. And my agent was like, you can grab that for me? And I walk around and I see it. I'm like, I can see what's outside, but I can't, like, see like who it is, but I can kind of make out what it is because the way the glass I have on my door, like you can kind of see it, but you can't make it out. So I see a guy standing with a gold jacket on, and I'm like, oh shit! And bro, I kid you not, those I tell anybody this. That was the most nervous walk I ever had in my life. Like walking to that door, I was shaking.
Yeah.
And when I opened the door, and when you watch it, when I opened the door and I saw who it was, that's why I turned around and I was like, oh shit, like I made it, you know. And I didn't care about like people always be like, oh, you didn't make first ballot, this is that. At the end of the day, I don't care if you first ballot, 10th ballot, 11th ballot, that shit says Hall of Fame. And
your head's there.
Yeah, so to hang that up, you know, to even be able to hang my bus up in the actual thing where all the buses are at in the Hall of Fame, that shit, bro, like, when I'm dead and gone, my kids, my grandkids, everybody can sit there and say, that was my grandfather, or that was my dad, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit ain't never going nowhere. So, to be in that fraternity and to have those guys, like, when you make it to be like, you belong here, man, I never would have thought in a million years that I would be a fucking Hall of Fame football player. That was never my goal. I never was like, oh, I'm gonna make it to the Hall of Fame. Like that was never my goal. It was never nothing I talked about. It was never, you know, I always said I wanted to be great, but never in a space of like, cause that's different. That's a whole nother tier of things. But to get that, bro, that was a fucking that was a hell of a feeling. To experience that whole weekend was a hell of a feeling, man. To walk down that gauntlet and it's nothing but guys in yellow jackets surrounding you and hugging you and telling you you belong, man. That shit is different, bro. It's a whole different.
Dubs.
Yeah, that's a whole different type of. It's just different, man. You gotta experience it. I tell people now, like, if you never ever done anything, like, if it's one thing you want to go see, go visit Hall of Fame. It's in the middle of nowhere, but in Canton, Ohio, it ain't really much there, but it's a hell of a thing, man. Yeah. The experience.
What were you? Correct me if I'm wrong. Were you the first ever Houston Texan to be in the?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's like I don't know if you ever thought of that, but that's full circle for you to be. Because at the time, the Houston Texans were just created, right?
Yeah.
2001?
2002.
2002, and then 2003. Here you are, the draft class. Unfortunately, you weren't able to win the big one, but you had an 11-2 season, the 2011 season, right?
Right.
OD educated me. One of the years you couldn't beat Tebow, but I forgot what year that was. I think your hamstring was pulled. But anyways,
go ahead.
You guys had the potential to eventually win the championship in 2011, right?
It was the AFC
11-2 year.
Yeah, 11.
And that was the
11 and 5.
Sorry, 11-5, and then the Ravens won that, right? Or who won that year?
The Ravens won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I think.
He almost got there. He never did, and Dre will never say it. And he loves his teammates. Great, solid, great teammate. Never about me. Never about any of that. If they're at that point in time, and in today's era, if there was one quarterback more so of your time that you wish you could have played with, who would have been?
In that time?
In that time, in your era, in your era of time, when you were Andre Johnson.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt Schaub. Shout out to every quarterback. He loves you. We appreciate you. But we all know Dre's story. If he would have had a quarterback, a legitimate one, he was in the Hall of Fame. Think about what he could have done. If there was one, who would you have played with?
In that time?
Who would you like to play with to be like, man, we could have done something special and won a Super Bowl?
Tom Brady.
Damn. I think you and Tom Brady would have meshed well. That would have been insane.
I think, you know why I say Tom Brady? Because I always watched Tom Brady from afar.
Okay.
I actually got to talk to him on the phone. Actually got to talk to him on the phone once, but Tom Brady had the fire that I had, but he was more expressive with it.
I was about to say, you had that shit right here.
Yeah, that shit sat on my chest, but he was more expressive with it, and that was one thing I always said. Like, you know, the crazy shit, bro. Like, people, and it's crazy because people don't get to hear these stories, bro. My first Pro Bowl, I'm sitting at the bar in Hawaii.
What year is this?
2005.
Okay.
Yeah, because I made a Pro Bowl my second year, so 2005. I'm sitting at the bar. Tom Brady sitting there. Man, what I got to do to get a receiver like you on my team?
He said that to you? Uh-huh.
Tom Brady threw me my first pass in the Pro Bowl.
Okay.
But the same way I looked at him, I feel like he felt that same in me. Like, even though he was more expressive with it, like, you know, you see Tom yell, you know, get pumped up and shit like that, but I just carried it on my chest. And I think I don't know, like, we athletes, like, we see different shit. We watch shit. Like, we see different things. We watch guys. We like certain guys. We dislike other guys. Like, whatever it is. But, like, I always, if it was one guy, I always wish I could play with him. And it was just, I don't know. Like, it was something about him. Because he, like, right now, even right now, I tell people right now, like, Tom Brady can still play. You don't think so?
I'm a Tom Brady fan. I would love to. Let's put it this way.
Okay, but if you look at his last year of playing,
yes,
you don't think he could have played this past football season?
No knock on Aaron Rodgers, because I hope Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers for selection. I think Tom Brady could perform at a better level than Aaron Rodgers did last year.
Definitely. I agree with that. And I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. Mm-hmm. I love Aaron Rodgers. I actually wanted to play with him too.
Shout out to Matt Schaub, man. Shout out to Matt Schaub.
Me and Aaron talked in Vegas.
What year was this? You could have potentially teamed up?
Nah, it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen, but we talked. We had a conversation in Vegas. I ran into him in Vegas at the Jordan Golf Tournament, and we had some conversations. But if it was one person, if it was one person I had, like if it was one person, they would say if it was one person you could ever play with, it would be Tom Brady. And it's not about the 7 rings.
No,
and
I get
all
it.
That. It ain't about all that. It's just about him. You can watch that guy and tell that guy put that work in.
I was just about to say, what was did he have that same aura as when you met Mike and you met LeBron and you're around those guys? Did he have that same mentality? Because I only see it from the Instagram, so I just see highlight reels. What is it about him that separates himself other than the ring? It's about greatness.
You can feel, and this just is my personal opinion. I could be wrong. I just know for me, it's certain guys you can go around and you can tell like that motherfucker put that work in. Like you can feel that shit. Like, and being on the opposite side of him,
Yeah.
like it was only certain people like as quarterbacks I would get up to watch. Like most of the time when I'm on the sideline, I'm sitting down. When I played against Tom Brady, I'm getting up to see it. When I played against Peyton Manning, I'm getting up to watch how he operates offense. Michael Vick, the most athletic motherfucker you would ever probably, from the quarterback position, it wasn't even close. Like, to watch Michael Vick, and I got to play against Michael Vick in college, but to watch him when he was at the Falcons, I've never seen nobody get from up under the center that fast.
Yeah, that was Taj's guy. He was nice.
Mike was, man, you can, if Mike don't get in trouble,
Yeah, I agree.
and I'm so happy for him what he has going on now with the coaching job.
Come
on. But if Mike don't get in trouble, man, Mike was he was that dude.
Yeah.
He was that dude. Like it, and a lot of people, they don't really talk about that, but Mike was that dude, man.
If that would have ever happened, would you been in a situation where you would have brought him to Houston, or you'd have to leave?
What?
To play with Tom Brady?
Or I would have had to leave.
Would you if the deal was right? Because you're such a loyal guy.
Yeah,
like,
I would have.
Dude, you've never left. If you had that on the table, would you have done it? Because you're a super loyal man.
Yeah. If it was on the table, yeah, I probably would have left.
Wasn't there a situation where it did come about, or is that more towards your later end?
No. So what a lot of people don't know is Peyton Manning was supposed to come here
to Houston.
Yes.
Oh, dude, you guys would have won one.
So a lot of people don't even know this story. I probably shouldn't be telling it, but I'm gonna tell it.
Telling the truth, man.
So
Omaha, Spider White 2 banana.
When Peyton went to Denver,
Yeah.
Peyton was supposed to come here.
Who fumbled the snap on that one?
Yeah, Mr. God rest his soul, Mr. McNabb turned the deal now.
Oh no.
So we offered Peyton the same deal that Denver offered. It was the same contract.
You guys ruined my life. You know that, right?
But you know the funny shit? I tell people all the time, Kubiak was our head coach at the time when that happened, right? Who Peyton won this Super Bowl with?
Kubiak.
It came full circle.
Couple things. And we're going to close this thing on out. Peyton Manning, you were supposed to come to Houston Texans, and you were supposed to deliver a championship to Mr. Andre Johnson. But instead, you had to come, John Elway. Yeah, here we got a guy named Tim Tebow. Yeah. And you got rid of Tebow because of Peyton Manning. And I can't be mad because you brought Denver a championship. And I got to bring this up, Dre. I was at that Steelers Broncos game. Tim Tebow, rest his soul, Demaryius Thomas. What I witnessed that night was the craziest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. The craziest. Fakes the read option, step back. Tebow to Demaryius. Oh. Tebow to Demaryius. Boom. Demaryius has got it. 10, 15, 5. The Broncos are going to win it. The Broncos are going to win it. I was at that game. The craziest experience of my life, other than when LeBron came back from 3-1 and I was in there. And that's why Tim Tebow was my guy. And I'm sorry that he didn't get into the Texans. Crazy story, though. We were talking about closing out, Dre. We were talking about greats. We mentioned. Did you ever have an opponent that you were like, fuck? I know it's not your mentality. I got to go against him tonight. I gotta bring it all tonight.
I would say I was never like, fuck, like I gotta go against him. I was excited.
Okay.
There's a few guys I played against, and I was always excited to play against these guys. Darrelle Revis.
Okay.
Tyler.
Former Bronco.
Charles Woodson. Aqib Talib.
Dog.
I love him.
Yeah, dog.
I love Aqib. Pac-Man Jones.
Okay.
Because he was going to talk shit. That's my guy.
How do you deal with shit talkers? Do you go back with them?
I don't go back and forth.
Okay.
But Pac, he was going to talk that shit. But he was, the thing I love about him about Pac is that even right now to this day, like, he gonna talk that shit. Like, he's gonna talk shit and he don't give a fuck. Like, you gonna have to deal with it or you not. And it was never no disrespect, none of that. But it was fun. To me, it made it fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause we competitors. You know what I'm saying? And that was the thing. Like, even Aqib is a straight dog. Like, but he was gonna compete with your ass every play, and that was one thing I loved about him. Like, I love like guys who was gonna challenge me every single play, and those guys, like, they was gonna come at me. Like, even like I even talk about like J. Joe. Like, even though J. Joe was my teammate, but J. Joe made me work my ass off every day in practice. Like, we was gonna go at it. Like, him and K-Jack. Like, we was just, every day we was in practice, we just went at it. And yeah, we could talk about it afterwards, but during the time, like, we doing our thing, like, either you gonna beat me or I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah.
And that's just what it was. So I love guys like that, man. Like, who gonna not only compete, but want to bring the best out of you. You know what I'm saying? So,
did you ever play against Champ Bailey?
another one of my guys.
Okay, I grew up with Broncos, obviously.
He's always like one of my favorite cornerbacks. When, like, you talk about cornerbacks, best cornerbacks of all time, he's in my top, like, cornerbacks of all time. Because Champ, I tell people all the time, like, you know the thing what Champ make you hate about him? Mm-hmm. Champ can play you and not jam you. Champ can sit at 7 yards and he can watch you come off the ball and he can read everything you're doing.
Smart guy.
And but he had a receiver background, which a lot of people don't know that he was a receiver when he was in college. So, but Champ was that's one of my favorite cornerbacks of all time.
I love Champ Bailey. That was all because, again, Taj. I was watching. Champ was my guy. I liked him. And obviously Shannon Sharp, my guy too. You know, we were talking about tequila. He's got a little Hennessy, right? What does he got? No, cognac.
He got, I think it's called a Portier or something like that.
Work that one for me too. Work that one. Shannon Sharp, need your cognac here. I actually tried seeing you when you were here, but I saw your Instagram story. It was a little late. Closing out, Dre, you talked about competitors. Would you say your Texans defense that year that you guys were, legit with Cush, Mario Williams, Glover, Jack Kareem, who else was back there? Connor Barwin, JJ Watt. Who else am I missing?
We had a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Antonio Smith.
Obviously, you guys didn't win.
Yeah.
Would you, against the what ifs, would you put that Texans team up there with that? Because I spoke with Roby and Slay, because I told Slay that Slay's Eagles defense was the best defense I've seen since Roby's and Talib's Broncos defense. Would you guys put your guys' defense up there in the sense of Ray Lewis, that Denver team, and the Philly team? Or is it just a good defense? Because there's some nasty mofos on that team.
You say put it with what? Ray Lewis defense?
Yeah, you got Ray Lewis.
You talking about
I got Ray Lewis.
Baltimore?
Yeah, that Baltimore defense with Suggs. That's number one in my eyes. And then
What about the Chicago?
Chicago's up there too. I spoke with Roby, obviously. That Denver defense scared me, man. And then that Philly defense I was shocked about. I'm just curious because you got Cush, you got Connor Barwin, you got Kareem, you got JJ.
I'm gonna say this, man. Like, there's a read, and you know me, I'm big on respect.
Yeah.
Hey, that Ravens defense and that Chicago defense, ain't nobody touching that.
Lockdown.
Ain't nobody. It ain't nobody. Ain't nobody fucking with that. That like that. When I'll never forget when God bless his soul, Steve McNair signed with Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Lewis was sitting in the press conference and said, "How many points you can give us a week?" He said 17. Ray said, "Oh, we going to the Super Bowl."
Really? Damn.
Bro, like, but this what I'm saying, like, they ain't giving up nothing. Like, these defenses ain't giving up nothing. So to even did we have some hell of a players? Yes. I can't deny that. We had some hell of a players. But to mention that with those two defenses?
Different.
Oh no. Like, nah. We had a hell of a defense, but it wasn't to that level.
What was it like? What was it like competing against a guy like Cush? People see the Instagram reels of him and headbutting and stuff, but again, I put that guy in the category of competitor and warrior.
Cush, man, Cush is like my brother, man. Like, hell of a dude, ultimate competitor. I laugh at that shit, man, every time I see it. Because I don't know if people really understand, like, on that play when he headbutted the guy headbutted him because Cush flipped his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta think, this is a 300-pound guy. Cush was running full speed and literally hit this guy and flipped him. Like, and of course, Cush helmet comes off or loosens up or whatever, and then the guy walks into him and they headbutt each other. But man, I tell anybody, I've never seen nothing like that. Like, as far as like a guy who, like the way he, like when he did that shit, I've never seen like nothing like that in my life. Like, he was literally running. I'm standing on the sideline like watching this shit, and he's running full speed and literally runs into a 300-pound man and flips him. And was like, the shit what makes it so much better for me is because he was mic'd up that game. So when you hear it, he was like, "That's how you hit a motherfucker," and like
Being real as hell.
yeah, like, so for me to hit a mic'd up part and actually watch it and have that vision in your head with hearing that, like, man, Cush was killing shit.
Yeah. You think he'll be in that Ring of Honor one day?
I
Right,
think
he deserves it, yeah.
I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
I think he deserves it, man. everybody has talk about the PEDs and all that shit, man. But I think, but as far as like teammate, and the way the guy played the game, man, like he did it the right way. I mean, scratch all the other shit, but as far as like he's one of my favorite guys. A great man, great father, great human being. I mean, if you people ever get to know him, some people may say he look intimidating, but just a hell of a dude, man. And I actually got a chance to hang out with him a few weeks ago, him and his son, and he's so fucking Kush is funny as fuck. Like, he was throwing his son some softballs because we was playing in a softball game together, and he threw his son some softballs. He was like, "You gonna bullshit around or you gonna take it serious?" And I'm like, Kush, like, he's not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's always like so trying to be by the book.
Yeah.
But I love that about him though, because you know, even when we were on the staff, we were coaching together. You know, he would be like, "Man, come work out with me," and then like I'll do something, you know, I'll squat and do something more than he did. And he'll get upset. You know, he's that ultimate competitor. So that's what I love about him, man. I love Kush, man.
I gave him the Ring of Honor. To close out, you know, we were talking about how Santana was a leader to you at the University of Miami. I would say you were that same thing for a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. Shout out to Hop. He's a prominent friend and client of ours. He's been a similar gentleman like yourself, loyal, works hard. You know, when you were going through that transition, and I know you were a leader of at that team at time, would you feel like you had some impact and insight for Hop when he was making that transition to being the guy in Houston? And what other advice would you have, especially with these NIL deals and upcoming guys, especially like guys like Travis Hunter, you know, Hop's on his way out, that you have to guys to be able to get a Yellow Jacket or be a Hall of Famer or to be the best at what you do, because you are one of the greatest to do it in the receiver. I'm going to say it one more time. He is one of the greatest wide receivers, because he won't say it. I will say it. So, one of the greatest. And GQ, you tripping. I ain't taking Calvin Johnson over Andre Johnson? What? Cole? Taking Goat Johnson. Shout out to Calvin Johnson. Anyways.
Man, it's crazy because I got to see Hop grow.
Yeah.
I remember his rookie year, man. How he came in, and I would say ball skills wise, like as far as catching the ball, he's the best I've ever seen.
Wow.
Cause I would question him. I'd be like, why are you trying to one hand every fucking thing? Like,
His fucking hands are like this.
but I didn't realize his hands was that big. He wear like 4X gloves.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize his hands was that big. But like, why this dude trying to one hand everything? And I remember we was in a meeting one time, and he was like, "Man, just throw the ball up." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Just throw it up. Like, I'm gonna go get it." And I'm like, "Hot. That's not the way the game is played. Like, you know, we call plays. You got to run certain routes. You can't just throw the ball up every play." But his rookie year, he felt that way. He was like, "Man, you see me, just throw it up." And I'm like, "Nah, you don't. It's not gonna be played like that." And so I kind of broke it down to him. I talked to him, whatever. And I just started showing him little shit. Like, I'm like, "You're a big guy. You know, you're big for a receiver. So start using your hands. Stop, you know, doing this or doing that." And he started to do it. And like, if you ever like see like guys be Hop jerseys be ripped up sometimes during games because he's developed that physical nature of playing the game. And that's one thing I always told him. I was like, you ain't got to be, just because you're a receiver, you can be physical too. And he developed that. And I hate, I wanted him to win the Super Bowl so bad.
No, man, I thought it was going to happen this year.
Yeah. I wanted him to win the Super Bowl so bad, but that's my little bro, man. I love him to death. But as far as like with the NIL and all that shit, man, and
Yeah, Rick, your advice for these other guys like Travis Hunter who are talented. Like, what's your advice to them and the upcoming guys to be great and pursue kind of what you accomplished?
keep the main thing. Don't let the money get involved of what you're doing, because it can be a distraction. You're gonna have family. You can sign a deal for $40 million. Let's just say that for instance. People assume you got $40 million sitting in your bank account.
It don't work that way.
They don't understand you got to pay taxes on that
Yep.
money. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand you have to live. You have kids. You got to make sure mama okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that comes with that. And I can say for me, I didn't have that necessarily structure when I came. I had to learn that over time. And I would say this too, like, they probably would find themselves distancing themselves from family because they are going to beg so much because they feel like you got that money just sitting in your house. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, I tell young guys today, like, man, like, you can't take care of everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take care of everybody. Like, you work for this. You know, you sat there, you ran the 110s, you went to that weight room every day, you did them workouts. Nobody else did that with you. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you put into it and whatever you're being rewarded for now, don't feel guilty about it because people will try to make you feel guilty about what you accomplished. You don't want to put the work in to get it done. So I would tell the young guys, man, don't ever feel guilty about anything because you put that work in, you're being rewarded. Your talents have taken you to that level. So don't ever feel guilty about what you've accomplished because people feel entitled because that's my cousin. He gonna look out for me. No, I'm not looking out for you. Like, if you want something, you need to go figure it out yourself. Yeah. I can throw you something here or there, but I think, man, like, even now, man, these young guys, the one thing I love about this NIL thing is that not everybody is making a whole bunch of money. I think it kind of gets blown out of proportion a little bit. But I feel like, let's say a Travis Hunter, right? I don't know what Travis NIL is, but let's say if he made, he was in college for 2 years, 3 years?
I think 2 years, because that Shannon Sharp's third year, right? 3 years.
3 years. So let's say if
Shannon Sharp, Deion, tripping.
Yeah, so let's say he made $3 million in 3 years in NIL. If he's done right by that money, he's already put himself in position to where he never ever had to work again ever in his life.
And a guy like Deion will put him in that situation.
Right. So, and that's why I say I love Deion because Deion is teaching that.
Yeah.
He's trying to put guys in that situation. So, let's say if he's made $3 million in those 3 years he's in college and he never has to have to work ever again in his life. Everything that he makes now going into the NFL, that's like fucking bonus.
Yep.
Money. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you could still, but you're creating generational wealth in a way now that's, you know what I'm saying, that's so different than it was before.
Yep.
So I feel like that's why I love the NIL thing. That's why I'm so happy that these young guys are getting paid for what they're doing. So it's a hell of a thing, man. It's a hell of a thing, and I'm excited that these young men get to, get rewarded for their talents.
I agree. What's life look like now that you're retired, Dre? What's going on with you? You got any plans? You got any enjoying?
Man, I'm living life, man. Got twins on the way.
That's the pappy! And the pappy and the pappy.
I got twins on the way, a boy and a girl. But other than that, man, just still doing work with the Texans. Actually doing a podcast tomorrow with JJ.
Okay.
He's coming on the podcast tomorrow.
It's your Houston
That
Texans
me,
one,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, me and JJ do with the Texans, so that should be a lot of fun. But other than that, man, just doing work with them and just staying involved a little bit with football. Other than that, man, just living life.
It's good.
That's really it.
So we got, to close this out, I forgot. So we're talking about GOATs. Shout out to Dre for this one. 'Cause I brought this one up. This goes for all you guys that said I'm not a Lakers fan because of LeBron. Who we got here? We got Kobe, D. Fish, Brian Shaw, Rick Fox. Who the fuck is this guy? I forgot who this guy is. Ron Harper, Glenn. Who this guy was?
That's AC Green.
There you go. AC Green. Glenn Rice, Big Shot Bob, Shaq, D. Fish. So, I bring this up because if I'm getting a first round pick, before LeBron, before Michael, before Kobe, I'm taking Shaquille O'Neal. And I never asked for things. Shout out to Slay, I met LeBron. And shout out to Dre, because I met Shaq. It's a cool Shaq story, and then we'll close this thing out. So I was training, I think Shakir was coming up, and I was like, I wanted to help Shakir. And you know how big of a Shaq fan I was. And Dre's real quiet. He doesn't say he's going to do things, doesn't say whatever. So I'm sitting there, and I know Shaq's coming in to do a DJ set. And I'm sitting driving my car, and I got Shaq shoes on and everything. And Dre FaceTimes me. And what the fuck did Dre FaceTime me for? So I FaceTime him. He said, what's up, Dose? I got someone I want to speak to you. I was like, what's up, man? He hands me the phone to Shaq. I literally fumble. I go into these, and in the car. What's up, Dre? Oh, shit! Shaq! Shaq, I got your shoes on, Shaq! He said, you gonna come to the show tonight? I was like, yeah, if that's what Dre said, I'll be there. So I better see you there. So anyways, I met Dre at the Post Oak. And getting back to this, I'm a fan first. So when it comes to guys like that or whatever, I'm a fan first. I don't think I'm too cool. I respect the space too. But anyways, he remembered me, and we met at the Post Oak, and then we got to the club, and he called my name out, and I gave him a big ol' hug. When I gave him a hug, I told him, Shaq, giving you a hug, I saw all these flashbacks of my childhood. I felt like I touched Kobe. I just want to say thank you. Like this. Thank you, Shaq. I love you. Anyways, I am taking Shaquille O'Neal with my first round pick as anything. Before LeBron, before Michael, before Jordan, Shaq is my guy. But Dre, I appreciate you for letting me meet Shaq. Shaq has been prominent dude in our all of our family's life. We hope we'll get some Lobos tequila and Michael Jordan tequila. Dre is I don't have a lot of friends. I have a lot of clients. I have a lot of people. And this platform has brought me to do stuff like this, because we would never do stuff like this. Dre knows me as the guy. If Dre texts me at 8 o'clock p.m., he ain't going to get a response till 3 a.m. But he knows at 3 a.m. Dose is going to text him and Dose is working. So this Daily Dose podcast brings me this type of platform to where I can enjoy things like this. And just like y'all said, LeBron wouldn't get 6 rings. Y'all are probably thinking about I wouldn't get to my 6th shot. I want my 6th shot. God damn it. Hall of Famer. He said he's got the greatest, I'll say, go ahead, the greatest college football team. Hall of Famer. Sadly, he wasn't able to win one for Houston, but he is the face of Houston. I don't care what you say. When you take Houston Texans, it's Andre Johnson. Big guy in the city. Does so much more for the city of Houston and the people. He's done a lot for my career and my family. He has welcomed each and every one of my family members like it was me. Halima, Badshaw, Cole, Taj, Jen, and even my fiance Priscilla. I'm just a kid from Sharon, Wyoming. He gave me a chance. I'm honored to have his jersey hung in here. I don't have a lot of jerseys, and I'm honored to have you on the show, Dre. So this is the 6 of 6 shot. This is the most I've ever drank with you. I hope you're proud of me. Thank you for coming on the Daily Dose. Thank you for supporting us.
You ain't think I was coming.
I didn't think he was coming. I had all these, like, damn, this guy's coming. I told Aaron, 1 o'clock Sunday. But thank you from the bottom of my heart for believing in me, never wavering, never leaving me at to hang to dry. I pride myself on that, and I pride on myself on, I think we just get, you go and do the work, I'm going to do the work, and you followed me everywhere I go. I said, I brought him to the man cave, and I was like, well, Dre, you were able to see every house I've been in because he literally trained from 9 Innovations to the first townhome. After I moved from the first townhome, he went to the next townhome, and then to the Post Oak, and then to sometimes at his house, and sometimes to Fertitta's house. So I really, really just want to say thank you for supporting our brand, our supplements, our business, and believing in me. I love you, bro. Daily Dose. We close this out. We already had our shot. We got no days off. A lot of dub segments. Congo Subs. Go get yourself some. Dre used to drink Pedialyte. Never used to take supplements, but he loves himself some Congo Warrior. And we close.
That's the funny thing.
What's that?
I never started taking supplements until y'all got it.
Here it is first. Hall of Famer.
No,
And-
really,
for
no
the-
bullshit. You know, I used to always like, I'm like, nah, give me a Pedialyte, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
go home.
When you
and now I
first
take the aminos
post boxing and
after I
stuff.
work. Yeah,
When you first saw this,
yeah.
and just saying, you know,
I ain't
give us
gonna
your
lie,
thought. What do you
bro,
think?
I thought y'all was bullshit.
Really?
Yeah. I really, like, when you told me, I remember you telling me, like, man, we gonna get supplements, this is that and other. I'm like, fuck, they gonna get supplements, like, I thought you was just talking, like, no bullshit. But I will say this, man, like,
Yeah.
the Congo brand has been like it's everywhere, bro. Like, y'all have done shit the right way, and like I tell you, man, I'm always super, super excited for whatever you have going on, and I'm always support the Congo brand. But that's dope, bro. Like, that's dope for you to have your own supplements now. Y'all need to come by the gym and get some merch too. They got crazy merch.
Likes the merch. At the Dodge.
Yeah, they do. They got crazy merch, but even though they get mad at me because I don't wear it all the time.
No,
but,
man, no. Nobody likes you licking. You know,
but
so,
it's a hell of a thing, man. Like you said, to see, bro, I've basically seen you just come up,
grow up.
Yeah, and to see where you at right now, man, I'm proud of you. Super proud of you, bro.
Thank you, bro. You think I could wear that chain for this last segment?
Yeah, you can wear it. You want to wear it?
I'm gonna give a big old close out on this one. I'm a Muslim man too. How you gotta put this thing on? You just gotta clip it.
Snap it in.
You man, you just snap this before I close it one time. It ain't no Hall of Fame ring. It's a Jesus piece.
Yeah.
You got it? Okay.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, here. All right. Jordan, need your tequila. LeBron's the GOAT. GOAT himself came to my home. Sly, didn't lick Dre. Hall of Famer, loyal friend. I consider him family. I don't use that word family a lot. You know what? I said 6, but we got to one-up Jordan one time. We'll take a small one. We'll go 7. Dre, I love you, bro. Thank you for coming on, coming to my home.
Brother. Always.
Appreciate you, bro, and I'm gonna keep going up. And if you're not down with that, I got a Jesus piece chain on me worth half of your salary. I got 2 words for you, because Dre's not in this. Daily Dose. Like, subscribe, share, Sly. We out. Dre, love you, dog. Appreciate you.
Always.
Turn my headphones up. Louder.